Small school football. Give us the countdown, Dave. How many schools are still left in state journal register small school area football?
Small school area football, we're down to the final four.
Final four.
Here in round 3. Yeah.
Who was your headliner from last week?
There's several really good candidates, but I think I'm going to have to go with Michael Tonry, Jacksonville route running back, senior running back. He's had an exceptional year anyway, but last week against Bridgeport Red Hill, he rushed for 211 yards, scored 4 touchdowns, one of them on a punt return. Route kind of started slowly first half, but they really picked it up in the second half. So Tonry, I think with their regular quarterback out, Tonry, there's even a little bit more relying on him, even a little bit more. So I'm going to go with Michael.
All right, staying in that vein, 1A, the only school we have left in 1A is Route. A very, very, very tough task for Route in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they go to Tuscola, and Tuscola's, I think last year Route had to play them in the semifinals. Tuscola won 21-7. Route didn't score till late in the game. Tuscola went on to win the state championship. Tuscola, some of the same characters, including the younger Wanky quarterback, has done a very good job. It's a question of Route, I think, trying to keep Tuscola's offense off the field. Route is as a running team, they're maybe not a ball control team like a Pena necessarily, but Route wants to keep the ball as long as they can, avoid turnovers, avoid letting Tuscola's offense go on the field because they're just a very, very powerful offensive team.
Route's under Nate Graham. Route's been magical in the playoffs for 2 years. They've been really, really good.
Yeah, last year was kind of. They really kind of caught fire because they lost, I think, 3 regular season games, so the expectations were and they won an overtime game against Triopia in the quarterfinals, and then they went over to Tuscola. So, but last year sort of carried into this year a little bit.
Tuscola has 1 loss, and the team that beat them is going to take on another area school, and that's Moreau Forsyth, plays in Williamsville in 2A.
Right, yeah, in 2A. Moreau, of course, another really strong team from the Okaw Valley Conference. The Williamsville Bullets have kind of caught fire here in the postseason. Big win over Auburn last week. Williamsville's, their running game has picked up a little more, where they don't have to rely on Josh Gentile quite so much. Zach Strocher has had a couple of 100-yard games now for Williamsville, so it gives them a little extra dimension. Williamsville got, I guess, a little minor scare earlier this week. Gentile they just described it sort of like shortness of breath a little bit once in a while, and they think maybe it stemmed from a hard hit he took a couple games ago.
He's taken hard hits for 11 weeks.
Well, he's run the gauntlet this year. He had a concussion situation earlier. He hurt his ankle at one point. This thing, but apparently he's been cleared. Apparently he's good to go. So they'll need all their weapons against Maroa, who's a pretty powerful team.
If Williamsville wins, we could have an all-area matchup because Staunton is still alive in 2A. And tell us about the Staunton game.
Yeah, Staunton plays Casey Westfield. It'll be at Staunton. Another power. I mean, most of our small school teams they're probably underdogs this week. Casey Westfield comes to Staunton. Casey's undefeated. They really
in a rebuilding year, really.
Well, for them, at least personnel-wise, he lost all but 2 starters from last year's team. 2 years ago, they finished second in the state. They really kind of manhandled a very good Carlinville team last year, especially on the line. Staunton is at home. Staunton has rolled up some points here these last 2 games. Adam Boston is Staunton's main guy in the backfield, but Jordan Johnson, who's a junior running back, came up with a big 160-yard game for Staunton last week, so that's another person they can go to. But bottom line, Staunton, they are at home, but they'll be kind of in an underdog role too.
And our last 3A, and all they have to do is go to the field of the team that's number 1 in the state, that beat the team that was in Class 4A number 1 in the state at the time we're talking about Pena going to Carthage, Illini West.
Yep. And again, I mean, it's kind of similar to Route situation going into Tuscola. Illini West, undefeated, very potent, tough offense to stop. The game is at Carthage. I guess Pena's situation is kind of like Route from the standpoint. Pena is a ball control team if they can move the ball against Carthage,
Off the field.
keep Carthage's offense off the field, and avoid turnovers. That's Pena's, that's their best case scenario to have a chance. That Pena has played very good defense this year, several shutouts, held Greenville to a season low 14 last week. But again, this Carthage offense is probably not like anything they've faced this year. And the coach talked about Stupek trying to duplicate Carthage's offense in practice. It's hard to do. It's hard to do, but they're doing the best they can. Pena has come a long way in 2 years, so nothing would surprise me. But they'll be a big underdog over at Carthage on Saturday.
1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. We've got them in every class. Come back next week and see what's going on. And if you want to find out the scores, www.sj-r.com, and Jason Pisha does a great job of keeping those updated. So go to those all day Saturday, and we'll keep you up to date.